Have you ever wondered what really happens after death? Everyone has their own theories, but many believe that once we die, our soul leaves the body and enters another world, a world no living person can see. But what if someone could enter that world? This is the story of Eleanor, a young girl from a small town near London. Eleanor was just 6 years old when this happened. It was the night of the ghost vigil, a sacred evening when it's believed the veil between the living and the dead is at its thinnest. Eleanor had gone with her family to visit the old church of St. Morwen, believed to be haunted. As soon as Eleanor stepped into the church, an overwhelming uneasiness filled her. She didn't even realize when her family left, and the priest, unaware that she was still inside, locked the doors and left for the night. The sun set, and darkness flooded the church. Eleanor was all alone. Then it began. One by one, figures started to appear through the locked church door. A crowd formed, silent, strange, translucent. They weren't normal people. They were souls, the dead, drawn to this sacred place for one night of the year. Eleanor watched, terrified, as they moved to the altar and began crying while praying. It is said that on the night of the ghost vigil, the spirits come to plead for salvation. She had heard such tales before, but now she was seeing them. Suddenly, one of the spirits looked directly at her, his face twisted in pain and anger. But instead of running, Eleanor gently asked, "What happened to you?" The spirit paused and calmed down. One by one, she spoke to each of the souls, and at that moment, Eleanor understood. This was her purpose. She saw her ability to speak, with the dead as a blessing from St. Morwen. As she grew older, she used this power to help souls find peace, but her gift made her an outcast. Even her family disowned her. Alone, she began living in an abandoned old church near the countryside. Years later, a woman named Margaret Whitmore visited her, bringing her troubled son, Julian. They came from a wealthy, respected family, owners of an ancient mansion called Fairhall Manor. But Fairhall had secrets. That very night, Julian couldn't sleep. He kept tossing and turning. And then he had a terrifying dream. A woman in a red wedding dress was sitting on his chest, choking him. He woke up gasping, only to see another woman in a black bridal gown standing at the bedroom door. When he blinked, she was gone. But something was wrong. He looked into a large mirror in the hallway and saw dozens of brides standing behind him, visible only in the reflection. Then he heard crying from the top floor. When he went up, he saw the same woman sitting on the floor, weeping. Her hands were covered in bridal mehendi. Just as he moved closer, her feet twisted backward, and she turned her face toward him. It was his dead fiancée, Roselyn. Julian woke up again. Another nightmare, but they were getting worse. To help her son, Margaret brought Julian to Eleanor. The moment Eleanor saw him, she knew she had to help. Soon after, Julian and Eleanor got married, and she moved into Fairhall Manor. But Eleanor had no idea that Fairhall wasn't just haunted. It was a prison of secrets. Julian didn't seem happy either. The night before their wedding, he had told her he only agreed to the marriage to keep his mother happy. That night, Eleanor went to the kitchen for a glass of water. As she returned to their bedroom, her heart nearly stopped. A girl in a bridal dress was floating above Julian's bed, her eyes glowing red. "Who are you?" the spirit hissed. "Get away from my husband!" Then she noticed Eleanor staring. "You can see me?" she whispered. "Who are you?" Eleanor explained her divine gift from St. Morwen. The spirit's rage faded into sorrow. Before she could speak more, Julian stirred in his sleep. The spirit vanished. Eleanor couldn't sleep. Who was that girl? Why was she so angry? She wandered through the manor's halls until she heard a strange noise behind a locked door. When she opened it, she was shocked to find a group of ghostly brides in old, tattered wedding gowns. They all stared at her and began shrieking, in tea. Their midst was the same spirit, Roselyn. Eleanor asked, "Who are you?" Roselyn replied with something that shattered her. "I was supposed to marry Julian, but he killed me before the wedding." She continued, "I can't find peace until I take revenge, and you have to help me." She revealed that Fairhall Manor hides many secrets, and things are not what they seem. Now, Eleanor faces a terrifying choice. Will she protect her husband, or help the woman he may have murdered? What really happened at Fairhall Manor? Was Roselyn telling the truth? If this story gave you chills, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Fear and Tale, for more terrifying true horror stories.